Hello. So for this week's vlog, we're gonna do something that I haven't done yet, but I think it's gonna help me in the future to stay on track. And I've seen other creators do it, but it's just like an April check-in. What do I want to do this month? Whether it's goals, affirmations, aspirations, anything like that. It's kind of just like setting the intention at the beginning of the month for what we can accomplish, how we can rest, what we can do, and stuff like that. So, very excited. I made a whole list. And I think before I get into the list, anytime I make goals for myself, set out to do something and it fails, it's never like, oh, I can't believe I didn't, do that, or like, just out of it's never like I don't beat myself up for it, because there's so much room to grow and it wasn't a lost experience and you can always try again. So I'm thinking now we'll start this like series with April, and I'll tell you guys my goals. And once we move in to May and I'll do it, we can also touch back on like what I completed and what I didn't. But it's just a room to set good energy towards. It's not like you have to accomplish, and if you don't, you're a failure. It's not my vibe. I don't do that. So without further ado, April goals. I said make a consistent effort to working out. I had hip surgery in December, and yesterday was my first time running, and it was just on the treadmill, and I did like 2 minutes on, 2 minutes off for a while, for 30 minutes, and I'm feeling really good today in my hip. So, just continuing to work on my cardio there and with cycling, and then strength and mobility. So I'm really excited that I'm like pretty much fully recovered from my hip surgery. It's still measured within a year, and I'm about 4 months out. So I'm really happy with it. The next two, eat more whole foods and drink water. I already have a very clean diet, and I eat very healthy because of my health stuff that I have, but I can always improve on that. But drinking more water is definitely essential because I'm like constantly dehydrated. Another thing that I have is leveling up, and I kind of just mean that like across the board. So with like my YouTube channel, with the photos that I take, with how I talk to people, with my appearance, just like leveling up and elevating how I do things to be a bit more professional, a bit more ladylike, kind of learning like, I've learned the time and place, but like really kind of honing that in, because I think it's really important as I move forward with my career and friendships and everything, that people that people respect me and that people feel like they can trust me. So that's the main one. Do 5 paid photo shoots this month. It's so funny because when I was writing that goal down, 5, it feels so small. It feels like nothing, right? Like professional photographers are shooting 5 times a week. That's a lot. 4 times a week. So yeah, but I'm newly freelance and I would really love to hit 5, and I've already have 1 done and I'm shooting today, and I have 2 in the next coming week, so just finding 1 more. I think we can do it. Share my work with over 100 people. So that would be like how I'm doing it is outreach, and I have like a marketing email that I send, but I would also just love to do individual emails, like cold contacts, where I just reach out to them and say, hello, here's my portfolio. I love what X has been doing with this campaign. And I think that's helped a lot in the past. thing that I struggle with sharing my work with over 100 people is getting the return rate, because I can certainly email 100 people, but that's not necessarily the best way to get their engagement in my work or view it or see it in any way. So I'm still learning how to do that. Now, with sharing work, how do you guys usually do it? I'm sure most of the people here are creatives or have some sort of thing. Do you post on like as many platforms as you can? Do you do cold emails? Do you go to events? Do you invite people to dinner, drinks? Like, how do you go about networking and putting your work out there? Because girl. I would also like to visit more art galleries. I've been saying that Saturdays is typically the day to go, but I think I should move it to like Thursday mornings or something, because there's so many to see. There's not enough time to see that. But on Fridays, I would kind of love to give like a Saturday projection or whatever, like kind of on TikTok, to show you guys where I am going to go and like my map that I can put together for my art gallery days. I feel like that might be helpful to a lot of people because it can be so scary or like daunting at first to go to art galleries. So I think this might be a really easy way for everyone to like get involved at the same time. Get out of New York. I am doing that this coming weekend. I'm going to Boston. I have a friend that lives in New Hampshire, and so we're meeting in Boston for the Celtics game. And I would love to just continue to get out of New York. Like, I really just haven't left, and I've just been here. And when I vacation, it's just here. I'm from Idaho, but none of my immediate family lives in Idaho anymore, like in the town that I'm from. So when I like go home, it's like not really a thing. So I don't know. I would love to get out of New York and kind of have an ease of mind a bit more than I do. Get in touch with nature. Live a good life. Be consistent with my investment accounts. I don't know if you guys are on my newsletter email list. It's one email, one time a month. That's it. That'll be the first of every month. But on the hot list for April was financial literacy. So if you are not on the newsletter and you want to be, go ahead and just DM me on Instagram your email and say that you want to be on the newsletter, and I'll put you on. Super cute. Next week's video will be about the newsletter, so stay tuned. I would like to fail at something. This was also what I talked about in the newsletter, about how in order to reach any sort of success you have to fail, and that it's fundamental to the growth of anyone's career at any stage, no matter what age you are or no matter how good you are at anything, you have to fail. And how it can be super like, it's like it hurts your body and it hurts your soul, but how it's so important. So, newsletter, bitch. I would like to list out my brand with descriptions, because I feel like I'm a little all over the place right now. Obviously, like, I'm a photographer, but I don't always market only as photography. And I have a bunch of experience in other fields like production or art direction. I babysit, but I am also like very into health and fitness and can offer a lot of like advice in that area. So I think it's important for me to just sit down and be like, what is the true thing? Like, what do people need to know me for? I'm going to go on 2 dates this month. and I'm not going to cancel them. I probably will cancel them. But yeah. I think my last one is to be more fashion conscious, and I'm not talking environmentally, because that's just not what I'm saying right now. But I was recently having a conversation with someone about a photographer that we both work with, and this photographer is not very into fashion, doesn't really like subscribe to the hype, they just wear the same thing every day. And this person and I, as we were talking about this photographer, kind of were saying that their career hasn't reached the height that they well deserve because they're not into fashion. And because when styling comes in and offers clothes, this photographer's like, oh yeah, it looks good, because like they don't know good styling or good fashion. And I don't think it's really like held their career back as far as we might have said. But I don't want to get caught into that. I would really like for the styling and fashion on set to be just as elegant or elevated and chic as the clothes that you would put on your body. Like, it's like one You dress for the role that you want, you dress for the job you want, you dress the models for the shoot you want, for the images you want. So I think that's a really important thing that I've been diving into recently, is like, how can I elevate these certain aspects of my work. And like I said, that like the fashion, it needs to be just as excellent as the lighting. It needs to be just as excellent as hair and makeup and nails. Like everything needs the standard, everything is excellence. And then we can talk about everything else, like posing and whatnot. But that's the basis of it, is like, cheer yourself. So those were just some of my April goals. I feel like they're pretty benign and don't hold a ton of weight, but we're just easing in. So I think for May, maybe I'll set more concrete or like more realistic goals that, like, instead of drink more water, drink. Love you. Just want to say I'm proud of you. I just wanted to let you all know that with any goals that you set, don't be too hard on yourself if you don't accomplish them. But set reasonable and actionable goals, because why? Then setting yourself up for failure. That's fun. Okay. I love you. Enjoy the day. Enjoy the month. Enjoy the year. Lorelai.